You have $1 million in your 401k. Here's the part nobody told you. You don't have $1 million. You have $1 million minus whatever Congress decides to take, and they haven't decided yet. I'm a licensed agent, and I want to show you the tax bomb sitting inside most retirement accounts and the 3 legal ways people diffuse it. Real quick, and I mean this one. This is education, not tax advice, and not financial advice. Tax law changes, and your situation is yours. Talk to a CPA or a tax professional before you move a dollar. Let's go. Start here. Your 401k is not really your account. It's a joint account, and your partner is the IRS. They just haven't told you their share yet. Every dollar you put in, you skip the tax on. That felt great at the time, but you didn't erase that tax. You postponed it, and you let somebody else pick the rate. Think about what that actually means. You made a deal where you pay later at a rate nobody has set yet, decided by a Congress that hasn't been elected yet, based on a national debt that hasn't stopped growing. That's the deal. Most people have never once looked at it that way because it was never explained that way. Now, I'm not going to tell you taxes are definitely going up. I don't know. Nobody knows. Anybody who tells you they know exactly what your rate will be in 20 years is selling something. But here's what is true. You are carrying that risk, not your advisor and not the government. And right now you have zero control over it. So let's fix that. Every dollar you own for retirement lives in one of 3 buckets, and the whole game is which bucket it sits in when you retire. Bucket 1 is taxable. Your savings account, your brokerage account, CDs. You pay tax as you go every year on interest and gains. It's flexible and you can touch it anytime. But it leaks a little every single year, and that leak compounds against you. Bucket 2 is tax deferred. Your 401k, your traditional IRA, your 403b. This is where most Americans keep almost everything. You skip the tax now and pay it later on every dollar you pull out at whatever ordinary income rate exists that year. This is the bucket with the bomb in it. Bucket 3 is tax-free. You already paid the tax, and the growth and the income come out with no tax due as long as you follow the rules. Roth accounts live here. Certain municipal bonds live here. And properly structured cash value life insurance lives here. Most people have almost nothing in this bucket, and that's the whole problem. Now, let me show you why bucket 2 is more dangerous than it looks, because there are 3 triggers and almost nobody sees them coming. Trigger 1, required minimum distributions. At 73, the government makes you start pulling money out of that account whether you need it or not. Read that again. You do not get to decide. If you were planning to leave it alone and let it grow, that plan is not yours to make. Trigger 2, and this one blindsides people. Pulling money out of that 401k can make your Social Security taxable. Depending on your income, up to 85% of your Social Security benefit can be exposed to tax. You spent a career paying into that benefit. Now, a withdrawal you were forced to take is what drags it into the tax net. Trigger 3, your Medicare premiums are means tested. Higher income can mean a surcharge on your Part B and Part D premiums. So a big withdrawal doesn't just cost you the tax. It can quietly raise your healthcare bill for the year too. 3 separate hits, all from one bucket. And here's what makes it ugly. These stack. The forced withdrawal triggers the tax. The tax drags in your Social Security. The income bumps your Medicare. One decision you didn't get to make. 3 bills you didn't plan for. In the years, you have the least ability to go earn more. So how do you build bucket 3? There are 3 legal doors, and each one has a real trade-off. I'm going to give you all 3 honestly, including the one I sell, and I'll tell you where it's wrong for you. Door 1, the Roth. You pay the tax now, it grows tax-free, and qualified withdrawals come out tax-free. No required distributions on a Roth IRA during your lifetime. It is a genuinely great tool, and it should usually be first. The catch. There are contribution limits, so you can only get so much in per year, and high earners run into income limits on contributing directly. For a lot of people, the Roth alone is not big enough to solve the problem. Door 2, the Roth conversion. You take money that's sitting in bucket 2, you pay the tax on it now on purpose, and you move it to bucket 3. You're voluntarily paying at a rate you can see instead of a rate you can't. The catch is real. You write a check to the IRS this year, and it's a big one. That conversion also counts as income, which means it can trigger the exact Social Security and Medicare problems we just talked about. Timing this is a job for a CPA, not a YouTube video. Door 3, and this is the one that gets both oversold and unfairly trashed. Properly structured cash value life insurance. Here's the honest mechanic. You fund a policy with after-tax dollars. The cash value grows without an annual tax bill. And then you access it through policy loans, which are generally not treated as income because a loan isn't income. That's not a loophole somebody found. It's how loans work, and it's been in the tax code for decades. Now, here's the part that gets skipped in every pitch, so I'm going to say it plainly. That tax treatment depends on the policy staying in force. If the policy lapses while you have loans against it, you can get hit with a taxable event, and it can be a nasty one at the worst possible time. This is not a set it and forget it product. It has to be funded properly and managed. If somebody shows you this strategy and never mentions that risk, walk away from that person. The rest of the honest breakdown. The upside. No contribution limits or income limits the way Roths have them. No required distributions. There's a death benefit attached, so if you die early, your family is covered, not just your balance. And there are usually living benefits, meaning if you get seriously ill, you may be able to access the death benefit while you're alive. The catch. It has real costs, especially early. It needs consistent funding for years. If you stop paying, the whole thing can unravel. And if you overfund it wrong, it becomes a modified endowment contract and you lose the tax treatment you bought it for. So who is this actually for? It fits if you're already getting your full employer match. You're maxing what you can into a Roth, you have money left over, and you have a long enough runway to fund it properly. It does not fit if you're carrying high interest debt, if you have no emergency fund, if your income is unstable, or if you're looking for something you can bail out of in 3 years. In those cases, this is the wrong tool, and anybody selling it to you anyway is selling, not advising. Which brings me to the order, because order matters more than product. Get your full employer match first. That's free money and nothing beats it. Kill your high interest debt, build your emergency fund, fund your Roth, and then, if you still have money working and a long runway, that's when bucket 3 strategies like this start making sense. Anybody who tries to sell you door 3 before you've done the first 4 is not looking out for you. So here's my honest take. You can't control what tax rates do. You never could. But you can control how much of your money is sitting in the bucket that's exposed to them. Right now, most people have almost everything in bucket 2 and call it a retirement plan. That's not a plan. That's a bet, and the house picks the odds. If you want to see what your 3 buckets actually look like right now, comment the word buckets or grab my free calculator and family bank book in the description. I'll show you where your money sits and what it would take to move some of it. And I'll tell you honestly if you should. No pitch, no tax bomb math, you can't check yourself. Because the goal was never to beat the IRS. It's to stop being surprised by them